This is Terrence Cal with MTAC Roofing Systems doing roof inspection at 139 Burbank Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. First thing I'm looking for on this roof is basically, I started off on the ground. Now that I'm up on the roof, I'm looking for any signs of hail damage, any signs of any storm-related damage, and then I'm looking at the condition of the shingle, the condition of the components, and basically with this one, definitely the installation, how it's installed. Is it installed properly? First thing I noticed is the shingle is not too old. So if you look at this shingle, it honestly looks like it's about 8 to 10 years old. It does not look too old. And then I started looking all the way around just to see if everything was installed properly. You can see that there is pretty straight lines. That's one of the things I'll look at. I'll look at how the valleys are installed, and then I'll press my foot just to see if I can hear a valley metal. On this one, it's almost like I can feel it, but I can't hear it. I also noticed that the gutters are backed up, which eventually what happens is the gutters get backed up, water gets in there. These leaves will eventually turn to soil. Then those gutters will try to back off. They haven't started doing it. This front gutter has. Then I noticed this right here. So this is a 112. So 112 basically means the pitch of a roof. Generally, it can be anywhere on a standard roof like this. It can be anywhere from 112 to a 1212. Sometimes it can go over that, but that's uncommon. Right here is the 112. So you should never have shingles installed over a 112 or at that anything that's under a 312. You should have modified bitumen. In easier terms to understand, it's called rolled roofing, which is a 2-part system. And then right here, there's just a piece of metal covering this. Now, I would have probably done this a little better. This thing is not flush. You got a hole right there. Leaves it to where pests can intrude. Got a little bit of debris stacked up right here, which eventually, like I said, will turn to soil. And then you got a valley right here, which water can back up and eventually deteriorate these shingles. So anywhere where there's usually debris laying will deteriorate those shingles a lot quicker than just a shingle that's not exposed to any debris like that. The exhaust vent here, you can tell it was sealed up. Doesn't seem to be having any problems. A little bit of rust. Not a big deal, but you can tell that this sealant is starting to wear off. So definitely recommend having that sealed. There's 2 satellite dishes and then 1 pipe boot right here. I don't know how I feel about this pipe boot. When I install my pipe boots, what I try to do is I try to have this shingle overlapping because I don't want over 6 inches of exposure, because what happens is now that thing's lifted and you can see the debris that's actually underneath there. So it looks like they're relying on sealant here, whereas with me, I would try to have that thing backed up to where there's only 2 inches of exposure versus 7. Not only that, but on this back slope, this is rolled roofing. Like I said, modified bitumen. This is under a 112. So what you'll start seeing is you'll start seeing water trying to back up underneath these shingles. If I were to lift up these shingles, you can literally see they didn't put any nails because they knew it was going to be a problem. But you see where that seam meets up? That's going to be a crucial point to where water can actually back up and get right here and start intruding. There was gutter screens back here. Looks like some of them have fallen off, but a lot of debris backed up. And then again, when they built this roof, they put this flashing here. Well, this flashing isn't doing a whole lot because it's not backed up underneath the fascia board. Flashing should always be, of course, stepping the shingles, but it should also be backed up underneath the fascia, because now what you have is you have water literally backing up and going directly where they don't want the water to go. That's pretty much it. There's one pretty severe thing I've seen right here. Pests can definitely intrude in this spot. So this is a drip edge or gutter apron. Really depends on whether or not it's on the eaves or on the rakes. This is the rake, that's the eave. This right here seems to be like it was damaged. A lot of exposed nails. And then seems to be like there's a lot of rotted decking right here. Seems like it starts right here and then kind of goes all the way to right here. I looked for hail, didn't see a whole lot of hail up here. Even if there was hail, this shingle is still a little newer. You won't really see any problems with that. I looked around the house, a lot of growth on this side right here, a lot of growth on the front. Shingle's not staining too bad, but I'll wrap this inspection up. I'll shoot this video to you and we'll go from there.